Death, reconciliation, a miracle, see who would have thought. It's like a script for breaking free, and Uncle Yuen didn't even land in jail. Dean Lao Q didn't lose a dime, the developments are wilder than the novel. A-Qiang sought out Dr. Mao, hoping to catch one last glimpse of his daughter before he goes. Dr. Mao readily agreed. A-Qiang's on the run, and if he wants to keep things under wraps, it's time for some creative international travel. Meanwhile, little Lu Zai is investigating her parents' case and suddenly recalls the light she saw that day. See, not the cops' red and blue, but the dazzling yellow stage lights. A-Qiang suggested calling the cops, but she had no plans to sneak abroad. Lu Zai mused that there's a 1K 391 road sign just 1.2 kilometers away. A-Qiang would slip out to scout, while Lu Zai planned to sneak away. They agreed to meet near the road sign. It's like a perfectly choreographed dance. Zhang Yun tracked down Uncle Yuen to discuss the past, only to see him play the innocent card and admit he slept on the little girl. He claimed the girl was fine at that moment, but didn't know how she later kicked the bucket. Dean Lao Q took an indirect exit, and the truce was to save the hospital. His remarks were full of holes, considering the case was long past the statute of limitations, and Dean Lao Q had already exited stage left. Zhang Yun was at a loss as Uncle Yuen disappeared into the night. Finally, the car to take A-Qiang arrived, and Dr. Mao kept his word. He pulled some strings to get A-Qiang's daughter out. A-Qiang vowed the first phase had see after surgery would be his own. The car rolled up to the port, where Damu handed A-Qiang a bag of cash, telling him to stay safe. A-Qiang couldn't help but think there was something off about this whole plan. Hearing the chimes, Dr. Mao rushed to Lux's room, only to find the girl crack the door code. Talk about some serious skills. Boat carrying A-Qiang sailed further and further into the open sea, and A-Qiang glanced at the time, tossing the captain a bag of cash to change course. If Dr. Mao asks, just say I've left the country, A-Qiang instructed, while Lu Zai sprinted through the wilderness. She finally reached National Road 319, only to be surrounded by a fleet of vehicles that popped out of nowhere. A man stepped out of the leading car, greeting her with a smile like they were old pals. A nurse from the precinct suddenly popped up, recalling something from back in the day that just might make a difference in this case. Before Uncle Yuen's incident, there was an accident at the hospital. See, a pregnant woman contracted AIDS. Dean Lao Q worked night and day, naturally fearing it would tarnish the hospital's reputation. Zhang Yun asked what this had to do with the murder case, and the nurse replied that the scalpel Uncle Yuen stole had been used on that AIDS patient. After the stabbing, they worried if the dean's daughter could have been infected, but they had no idea what happened afterward. Zhang Yun asked the nurse what the stabbed girl's name was, and she said she couldn't quite recall. It seemed to be connected with the word Jen, and Zhang Yun suddenly blurted out A-Qiang's wife's name, after which the nurse confirmed it. At that moment, Zhang Yun was hit with a wave of panic. See, Dean Lao Qu's deceased adopted daughter had apparently returned from the dead. In the night, Lu Zai bolted, dashing back to the wilderness she came from, but didn't get far before getting snagged again. Dr. Mao hurried over swiftly, carefully escorting her back to the seaside villa. Out in the open sea, the captain and his crew were hashing out the loot when A-Qiang nearly became their next catch. Pretty soon, had be seafood appetizers, and then the little brother from the northeast showed up as the boat snuggled up. The captain pulled out stacks of cash, instructing the big brother to toss A-Qiang overboard, but the fellow had other ideas. Little brother, I think you've missed the memo. See, that cash is ours. A-Qiang woke up to a dramatic showdown. In the next moment, chaos erupted as both sides charged at one another. The captain, quick on his feet, seized the bag and bolted into the cabin. A-Qiang snatched up an axe and swiftly cut through his bindings, while the northeastern big brother smirked, ready to pounce. The captain stuck around in a tiny cabin while outside the fighting and wailing crescendoed. Soon, though, the ruckus faded suddenly, as if the chaos had hit a mute button. Unbelievable. Shen Ying received a report. The nurse responsible for taking care of Zai turned herself in, admitting to taking a pile of cash. She arranged for wanted criminal A-Qiang to see his daughter, saying he wanted to go abroad for something, sounding like he had no plans to come back. The only dock to set sail was their target, so the team leader sprang into action, hoping to scout a place to strategize the rescue of Lu Zai. On the way back to the precinct, A-Qiang recounted everything that had happened recently, pleading for Shang Ying's help. "Help me rescue Lu Zai," he begged. Shang Ying asked where she was located, trying to recall the road sign Lu Zai mentioned, something along National Road 3. By the time Shang Ying woke up, it was dark, and he learned that A-Qiang was missing again, rescued by his gang. He firmly believed this case was not so straightforward, and while heading back to the precinct, he received word that Uncle Yuan had taken a hostage. Shang Ying thought he must have misheard, but when he arrived, Uncle Yuan was indeed holding Dr. Yin hostage. Just when he was fretting over reasons to detain Uncle Yuan, the man lunged with the knife, and Dr. Yin went down in a flash. Uncle Yuan was instantly arrested. Shang Ying raced to Uncle Yun's house to find the inside eerily vacant, only to discover a cherished photo hidden in a tattered box. He squinted at the photo, recalling that it was taken the day Zhen was stabbed by Uncle Yuan, except she was perfectly fine now. With the resurrection mystery still unresolved, a new puzzle emerged. Why was Zhen smiling with her attacker in the photo? What in the world happened? The next day, A-Qiang woke up in the seaside villa only to find Lu Zai. The TV blared news of the arrest of the killer of Ding Q last night, and A-Qiang looked utterly baffled. Was this wrap up too quick? Back at the precinct, Uncle Yuan openly confessed to Ding Qu's case, explaining that 2 days prior, he got the heads up to upgrade the surveillance. While disassembling the setup, he stumbled upon a safe packed with gold bars and cash. He thought, why not seize the opportunity? So on May 21st, he infiltrated Ding Qu's residence. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.